Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined by Jack Weinberger and Robert Ziggy Ziegler for a Week 16 preview show of the NFL season. We've been recording a lot today, so we had to redo that introduction from the original one. If you're enjoying these episodes, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You can always check us out on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. To become a member for mailbags, one mailbag dropped earlier this week. Head over to our homepage, select Join, which is next to our logo. We always read member questions during the mailbag segments. We try to get to as many as we can, but to ensure your question is read, you can become a member. Follow us on other platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Have great content coming out there. It's all coming out on YouTube as well. You can see it on YouTube Shorts, but we have some more graphics and things along that nature, shorts that come out on the other platforms. And it helps us grow the channel by following there. So, what do we have today in the Week 16 preview? Well, we'll have some game picks for you. And we're also going to redo a segment that we did last week that we had a lot of fun doing, where we ranked our top 5 games of the week. It gives us a chance to talk about these games and these teams a little bit more. And we have a timer while we do it, too, so we don't drone on for too long. Drone on, maybe a common theme in New Jersey. It's drones lately.
Yep.
So
drone warning.
And how about one more time, a round of applause to Jack, who won his debut of his third season coaching middle school basketball, 35-point win. A dominant performance for Coach Weinberger, who, he says coaching doesn't matter, but this guy right here is the exact reason it does.
Unless I'm the coach, I'm a different story. I'm the different story.
Okay, so Week 16, the games are not as good as Week 15 was just an unbelievable slate, but still a couple really important ones. And as opposed to having myself give my list again, we figured, you know what? Why don't we treat the audience and let Mr. Robert Ziggy Ziegler rank his top 5 games of Week 16. We'll have 2 minutes on the clock. We have 2.5 minutes on the clock for each game.
Yep.
Ziggy, go ahead.
So the way this works, do I give a little intro myself, or do I just say the game and you guys go?
I would love for you to give an intro to each game, and then we'll go from there.
At number 5, I'm putting a game, NFC North game, Lions-Bears. Not necessarily the most exciting, one of the top 5 games on the slate in terms of just implications. The Lions are making the playoffs, the Bears aren't. But these NFC North games have been really interesting. The Bears have been up or down. And the Lions secondary in particular is facing a lot of trouble. Caleb Williams needs a bounce-back game. The Lions need to win every single game they can as they're trying to hold on to seeding. And in Chicago, Sunday afternoon, I think there could be some excitement here.
This is a little bit nerve-wracking because last year when the Lions went to Chicago blew them out, right? Like this is a weird place to play. Divisional.
I'm trying to remember.
I think Chicago beat them pretty good.
Yeah, no, they won 28-13 in December last year when the Lions went to Chicago.
This is not an easy place to play. Detroit's had their struggles. This is a huge game for them because I could see a world where they drop this one.
It's important too to see the defense has to show up. We need to start seeing some signs of the Lions defense coming back to life, and it's hard to come back to life when your entire defense is on IR. But look, they've been crushed 6 straight quarters now. If Caleb Williams and that Bears offense, which has really been struggling lately, if they come in and continue the success they had at the end of the Thanksgiving game against Detroit, and we see this extend to 10 quarters or something like that, then I think a lot bigger questions. It's one thing to get blown out or have your defense ripped apart by the Packers and Bills, but to have the Bears do it in 3 straight games, I think we'll see a lot more questions about this Lions team and how legitimate they truly are given the injuries.
Especially off a loss too. If you can't respond against the 3-4 win Bears, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but this team has heard the criticisms and for good reason. And now Buffalo comes into your home building, scores 48 points. You can say, okay, whatever, maybe we'll let it slide. It's the Bills. If you drop this one of the Bears now, I might write this team off as a Super Bowl contender. Wow. I might be at that point if they drop this one of the Bears.
Wow. And for the Bears, it's a good opportunity for the Bears as well to go and show progression against the Lions team that is having trouble on the defensive side of the ball. It's a good spot for Caleb to try and bounce back. But you're right, Ziggy. Going into Chicago is tricky. It's a tough place to play. And if you're not in the NFC North, I don't think you realize it very often. All right. Game number 4.
Look at that, right at the buzzer.
All right, moving on to game number 4. There's going to be a whole lot of interdivisional games here. But at number 4, I think you got to put the Broncos and the Chargers. These are 2 teams that are duking it out for a wild card spot. Chargers are 8-6. Broncos are 9-5. What's that face?
No, we had the list that you sent earlier in the day on your games that you were watching, and the Broncos-Chargers wasn't on it. So when you went to Broncos-Chargers,
I guess you
look, man, my phone died. I can't see that list. We're freestyling here. This is an important game for the AFC wildcard race for the seeding. These are two exciting teams that are trying to prove something. I think this could be a big game.
Where's this being played? It's in LA, right?
This is in LA.
I wish it was in Denver.
For the seeding and for the playoff, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, these are currently the 6th and the 7th seed.
It's bigger for the Chargers here.
I do want to see like how though it is. Yeah, they're currently the last team in. I do want to see how the Chargers play against a good Broncos team right now after being obliterated like they were by Tampa Bay. Like that was shocking to me.
Oh, I'm starting to have some serious questions. Like 3-4 weeks ago, I was looking at the Chargers as a team that unlikely, but could possibly jump up into that actual contender tier. And now I'm like, they got blown out by the Ravens, blown out by the Bucks. I'm not viewing the Chargers nearly the same, but if they lose this one, you have the Bengals, Dolphins, and Colts bearing down on you.
Right on their tail, yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the Broncos side, last week, despite a win, I just believe that's more of AR and the Colts just being a pretty bad team, at least worse than whatever their record 6-8 team. I don't know how they have 6 wins, but I want to see. The last week was Bo Nix's worst game in a while. He had 3 picks, was not great, looked like a rookie. And now one could argue, so far this season, this is the biggest game of the year for Denver. I mean, this is a huge game for that wild card. I mean, they lock up a berth with this win, don't they? Like mathematically?
They would, yes.
So
I think so.
I want to see now how he can respond off that 3 interception game, go on the road and take care of a divisional opponent in a big game.
Yeah, how different is that Colts game? I wonder if Jonathan Taylor holds on to the football, because that would have made it, 27 or something? So, the Colts have a little breathing, or the Broncos, have a little breathing room, but the Chargers have to show me something. And if the Broncos win this one too, like at some point, you got to start looking at them more as a wild card team that really deserves their spot, as opposed to a team that's like, oh, they're right there on the edge. And I think they're there for me. Like they've been impressive most of the season, and it's kudos to Sean Payton, even though obviously I have my beef.
I should have never jumped ship. I saw this.
You saw this.
I see
when it was laughable.
I see things nobody else does.
You jump ship.
I know.
You jump ship.
But I have a gift.
All right, Ziggy.
With a second to spare.
So game number 3. We're sticking in the interdivisional battles here. The Philadelphia Eagles are heading to play the Washington Commanders. Not a ton is on the line in this game. The Commanders are relatively safe at 9-5. The Eagles are 12-2, have a playoff spot locked in. But the Eagles are competing for the 1 seed here. The Commanders are trying to show that they've got their feet back under them and they can play good football come December or January. This is a really important game for both teams, not for making the playoffs, but for establishing themselves as contenders. For the Commanders are trying to keep a hold and climb up to the 1 seed if the Lions struggle like the Eagles are. 2 great offenses. I think this will be a pretty exciting game. It's coming in at number 3 here.
Yeah, the fact this game too is in Washington is very intriguing. But you mentioned, Ziggy, the Commanders being safe, and they're in a good spot, but you have Seattle a game back right now? I don't know who owns that tiebreaker between Seattle.
I'm not sure.
I mean, beyond that, Jack, let's say that the Commanders lose this game. The Falcons play the Giants. That means the next week when the Falcons play the Commanders.
The Falcons also there too.
And that's a game where if the Falcons win, the Commanders are on the outside looking in. So you're right, Ziggy, in that there's not implications for the NFC East in this game, kind of the way that I hoped there would be a few episodes ago, for the Commanders to potentially catch Philly. That did not shake out at all. But I think for both teams, it's a huge game. Commanders just getting in and being comfortable. And for the Eagles, you're trying to get the 1 seed. And if you lose this one, the 1 seed is probably out of play, because I don't see the Vikings or Lions dropping 2 in a row here before they square up with each other.
And now Philly too, like this is tough. Yeah, they've won 10 games in a row, but a couple home games, beat a team in Pittsburgh who I think they really wanted to beat. And now you go on the road, divisional opponent against a decent team. This is a tough spot for Philly in my eyes.
And they lost there last year, right? Haven't they lost there a couple times?
I don't remember.
I believe they did. I think it was one of their first losses was at Washington.
In terms of the 1 seed, huge. But this to me is a bigger game on your home field for Washington than it is for Philly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, look at us blazing through.
On to number 2. We're going to stick in the AFC for the rest of these, but the Houston Texans are heading to Kansas City. Texans at 9-5, Chiefs at 13-1. Chiefs probably have the 1 seed, but they do have to win one more game in order to keep it against Buffalo. The Texans have had an up and down season. This is the first game since they've played the Lions. The Texans have really had a chance to show themselves. And that Lions game ended in a pretty unfortunate loss. Heading on the road to a Kansas City team that might be without Patrick Mahomes, certainly won't have him 100% and is reeling. This is a chance for the Texans to get a big win to reestablish themselves in the AFC.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, the Texans are currently a favorite in this game, right? Like as if Mahomes is not going to play.
They went from 3.5-point favorites to 3-point dogs, and I think that's where they are now.
Right, and I mean, what's the best back? Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
like
Carson Wentz.
Even without Mahomes, that is a good point, Ziggy. This would be what would feel like a landmark win for Houston. To go win in Kansas City, a team who doesn't really ever seem to lose there. The Chiefs have leeway. I would sit Mahomes as long as possible till he's okay.
2.5-point favorites makes me think he's playing.
It makes me think he's not. They're 2.5-point dogs, aren't they?
No. They've moved to 2.5-point favorites.
Okay.
So they think Mahomes is going to play.
That's my guess. Reed said if he's healthy, he'll go. Like if he can go, he'll go.
I mean, Houston, though, yeah, this would be huge, I guess, momentum for sure. But they're locked in at that number 4 spot for the most part. I guess this is just a
probably though. They're what? They're 9-5. There's a chance the AFC North winner, like if the Ravens win, those teams will be 10-5. So the Texans have a chance to move up to 3.
This is just more of a game Houston can figure themselves out. Like, okay, come playoff time where we're in it, but can we hang with these types of teams? Like if they go in here and get blown out with Mahomes on Sunday
with a bum ankle,
I have low hopes. But if they can go in there and keep it close or win the game, I'm feeling pretty good.
I think they do have something to prove, especially CJ Stroud right now in the offense. The defense has been pretty good this year. Most Texans fans will tell you that. The Texans defense has showed up, but their offense has not looked the same consistently throughout the season. Kansas City's got one of the best defenses in the league. Forget about Patrick Mahomes playing. Like, I want to see if CJ Stroud and that offense on the road can impress against a very good defense, one that you'll have to beat to go to the Super Bowl.
That sound is just the worst.
Yeah, it's people having PTSD.
Oh my God.
All right, Ziggy, 1 game left.
All right, number 1. You know what this game is going to be. Steelers-Ravens. It's a battle for the AFC North. It's 2 of the more exciting teams in the NFL. It's a divisional match. If you don't have this game number 1 on your list, I don't know what you're up to. This is obviously the most interesting game of the week.
Yeah, as a Steeler fan, I'm not feeling too great about this one either. This will be a war, as it always is. And what makes this just so big is the Steelers can lock up the division essentially with this win.
They would.
Whereas if the Ravens win, it's tied.
You have the tiebreaker, by the way.
Right. Pittsburgh has the tiebreaker. They host Kansas City and they host Cincinnati, whereas Baltimore has to go on the road to Houston, which game they could lose. So I would still feel pretty comfortable about the division, even if we were to lose this game. But if Baltimore does win this game and they have the same record with 2 weeks left, and Pittsburgh playing Kansas City and Baltimore playing Houston, I mean that's a get your popcorn out and enjoy type of finish there.
It would be fun to watch that. But I think for you as a Steelers fan in particular,
just win this game.
Win this game, because if you host the playoff game, I think they'll win in the first round, Pittsburgh. And then you're in the divisional round. And with that defense, you never know. But if you have to go on the road, even if you're the 5 seed, potentially like even if you lose to the Chiefs, you and the Ravens are weird because you guys can both still fall down kind of far here, depending on how the Broncos and Chargers perform over the next few weeks. So, like Baltimore, if they lose, they could fall behind Denver as well to be the 6th seed. But I do think for the Steelers, it's you guys have a chance to have a fun playoff run, but you need to be at home. You will not win on the road.
Yeah, I do just hate going to Baltimore in a revenge spot. And Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh needs this AFC North title more than Baltimore does, because Baltimore, like you said, can go on the playoffs and probably win some games. The Steelers need to be at top 3 seed and host their first round. And then I guess you never know. But I have a bad feeling. I don't feel great.
Well, I mean, you've been so on with the Steelers the entire season.
We're going to lose. Baltimore.
Yeah. Would you feel comfortable going into Houston in the playoffs?
I'd rather host the Broncos or the Chargers.
Oh, I know, obviously, but like, would you? I guess you wouldn't feel
I'd feel
screwed.
okay going to Houston. I wouldn't feel screwed.
Okay. All right, Ziggy, nice job. I think that was a good list.
That's a good list, Ziggy.
Yeah, that was a solid.
Nice little improvision there with the Broncos-Chargers last minute.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, so after ranking the games, we'll hop into the game picks here for Week 16 of the season. It's kind of similar segments, but this is a little more rapid fire, as people know who listen to the show. All right, you guys ready? Do some game picks here.
Never more ready.
Let's
I think
go.
we did a nice job too of not revealing our picks during that segment.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of
except for
explaining what's at
Baltimore.
stake, and except for Baltimore. Okay, Denver at the Chargers, as Ziggy said, one of the games of the week. Chargers are a 3-point favorite.
I like the Chargers to bounce back. I like the Chargers to bounce back here at home after that disgusting showing last week.
You're taking the Chargers. I'm taking the Broncos. I still trust this defense. I think Bo Nix is going to get better.
That sounded like Ziggy made his selection based on your selection, didn't it?
Yes.
He's like,
Hey, he might have.
Hey, you're taking the
I
Chargers.
I like picking
I'm taking
against
the Broncos.
Jack. What can I say?
I'm going to go. I want to take the Broncos, but I'm going to take the Chargers.
Then do it. Just follow your heart.
No, I'm not
Just follow
following
your
my heart.
Just
I'm
do
not.
it.
I'm going with the Chargers. Chargers to win this game and get back on track.
Never take the Chargers.
I know. I know. The Texans at the Chiefs. Kansas City 2.5-point favorite. Again, one of the games of the week for Ziggy. Patrick Mahomes. Let's assume he plays.
Plays or not, assume he plays, I still think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win anyway. There's some stupid nonsense happening in the last minute and they'll win.
Texans are finally starting to get healthy. CJ Stroud keeps playing well. I think the offensive line is going to get it together for this game. I know the Chiefs defense is tough, but I'm feeling the Texans here.
Okay. So far,
Chiefs have played worse games against worse teams.
That's very true. I think the defense is going to give Stroud some issues, though, and like I don't see this being a high scoring affair. But I do believe, like Jack said, that the Chiefs will win the close one. The Steelers 6.5-point dogs at the Ravens.
I think that's pretty outrageous.
Is Pickens out?
That leads me to believe he is. I do think that this falls within 6.5. I believe the last
People don't know AFC North.
the last freaking. It's a sick number. How many games come within 4 points?
There's also risk TJ Watt misses this game for the rest.
Oh, wow. Well, if that happens, then you lose by 30?
No.
40?
Baltimore will win this game. They're going to. Pittsburgh will find a way to cover in the end.
No, Pittsburgh doesn't cover. Give me the Ravens.
I have the Ravens too. In terms of the cover, I think that the Steelers will cover. I think it'll be a close game.
So that means the Ravens.
I mean, if TJ Watt's out, then it's over. We know how that goes. The Browns go to the Bengals. Bengals are 7.5-point favorites.
That's my Bengal Tiger impersonation, Ziggy. I'm going with the Bengals.
Give me the Browns to cover, but the Bengals to win.
People are still finding ways to get hope in the Browns. Oh my God, the Bengals making the playoffs, and I just don't think it's over for them. But I do think they'll win this game. The Cardinals go to the Panthers.
I'll be taking the Cardinals. I bet the Panthers last week gave Bryce Young a shot.
Yeah, I told you not to do that.
Done. I got the Cardinals. Never again with that guy.
Yeah, I'm not. I said it long ago. I wasn't picking the Panthers rest of the season. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals as well. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites at the Commanders.
I like Washington here on their home field. This is 4:25 slot, or is it 1 o'clock?
It's 1 o'clock.
Oh, it's one. Eagles. If it was 4:20,
Fly, Eagles fly.
Yeah, I have the Eagles winning this one too. They're just a better team than the Commanders, and the better teams usually find a way to win in December football. The Giants at the Falcons. Atlanta a 9.5-point favorite. I was so bummed out by they cost me a 5-team parlay last week. The Giants, a little 5-teamer, $10. Nice payout.
That's what you get for putting it on the Giants.
You know,
I had faith in 17.5 points.
I would have won $1,000 if the Giants won outright last week, Ziggy. Put 100.
I know. That was foolish.
Oh, that was nice.
No.
Falcons. The Giants are like a high school JV team.
Yeah, Falcons.
Do you guys think they cover 9.5?
No.
The Falcons.
They might.
One of my family friends just texted me yesterday. I think he had a bet on the Falcons winning. And he just went, no heart in this team. No heart in Atlanta. You see Kirk Cousins after the game look pissed. They're a dysfunctional team right now.
They could still win 17.
Oh, yeah. No, so I'm saying in terms of 9.5, I wouldn't touch the 9.5, but I do think Atlanta will win the game. Tennessee goes to Indianapolis. Indy's a 3.5-point favorite.
Oh gosh, it's just a boring game. I won't spend much time watching. I'll take the Colts because they're at home.
I'm not picking Anthony Richardson. Give me the Titans.
All right, he's hard to bet on right now.
It's dude.
I like making horse noises though, so I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I like rooting for AR, but he really can't throw the football. Like he's gotten worse. If you watch some of the throws, you would think AR started throwing with his left hand. It's bad. But I'm gonna pick him anyway because I'm not picking the Titans. The Lions at the Bears. The Lions are 6.5-point favorites.
The Lions win an ugly game. Caleb sucks too. I can't pick him either. So Lions.
I like the Bears covering, but I don't like I like the Lions to win.
I'm with you. I think Chicago will cover. It'll be a close game. They've played well at home this year, Chicago. And I really can't wait to actually see Chicago versus the Detroit defense. I'm very, very interested in how Detroit will come out and play given the past few games. All right, a few more here. The Rams go to the Jets. Rams are 3-point favorites. We all have to pick the Jets here. I mean, I'm sorry. We all pick the Rams here, right?
Rams.
Let's ram it, Ziggy.
Ram it all night long, Ziggy.
I'm taking the Jets.
Really?
Ram it all night long.
Really? Can I ask you why for 10 seconds?
Really? This Jets team feels like they're a bunch of trolls, which means maybe they're going to win.
Okay. The Vikings are 3.5-point favorites.
That's all I got. I just got a feeling.
Hey, we're all about feelings on this show.
Well, a lot of our fans saw our TikTok last week. I do believe Darnold is currently the third best quarterback in the entire league.
Who's he behind? Josh
Allen and
Justin Herbert.
Russell Wilson's 3 and Darnold's 4, but I lost all faith in Seattle after laying that egg at home this week against
Geno's
the Packers.
hurt.
So I'm going to go Minnesota on the road.
Yeah, I'm not picking against the Vikings here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to have my heart broken by them. I'm ready. I'm all in.
And we don't got to pick this next game.
Yeah, 12-2. All right, yeah, Buffalo will beat the Patriots. The Dolphins are 1.5-point favorites hosting the 49ers.
Lord have mercy. The Niners.
Yeah, no, the Niners.
Pins up.
The Niners will win this game.
The Niners, yeah.
The Niners will win. It's just Tua in these. Again, this isn't
No.
Go ahead, Ziggy.
Look, the 49ers are checked out. They're done with the season. The Dolphins are still playing football. I'm taking the Dolphins.
You're right. The 49ers have been such a shit show. But I can't.
Maybe the Dolphins will win. Who knows?
I don't think I could in good faith pick the Dolphins anymore. I just can't do it. Although the 49ers, did you see the Thursday night game?
They're 12-6.
12-6. That's just like these are two teams that you had such high expectations for, and they just want the season to be over. 49ers might just stay in Miami and party. That's probably what they're going to do.
I would.
Yeah, I'll go Niners, but who cares? We're like the one media show that we'll just say, who cares, guys? The Jaguars at the Raiders. Speaking of who cares,
you want to talk about who cares?
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I like to gamble, and Jacksonville's horrible, so I'll go the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll take the Raiders too. Squad ride.
Squad ride.
We're squad riding the Raiders.
The Bucks are 3.5-point favorites
at
the Cowboys.
What's his name? Bucks at Cowboys.
Tampa's playing really
How
well.
are they only 3.5-point
I don't
favorites?
know. Something's fishy there because this feels like a spot where Tampa should go in and crush them.
I smell a little fish.
Something? Yeah, something's weird.
I don't buy the bait.
I'll take the Cowboys. I'll bite the fish.
Honestly, I'm gonna bite the fish too.
No,
I feel like they're due to win at some point.
No, not here. Ziggy knows something. Something's up. Ziggy might have insider information.
I'm switching to Dallas also.
Like Dallas is good enough to go and beat up on the Panthers who suck, but the Bucks are good.
I forgot Dallas won last week. Yeah, I'm gonna go Dallas.
The Bucks are go. Oh my God! How did you both turn from what is this line to I'm picking the Cowboys?
I don't think Dallas is that bad.
They're not, but they're not good, and Tampa Bay is.
We'll see.
All right. Last game, Saints go to the Packers, 13.5-point favorites. Green Bay.
The Saints.
Yep. Saints.
So I got the Saints.
Oh,
Saints.
Saints.
Go march.
Go marching. Oh, and the Saints.
Yeah, no, we know who's winning this.
Marching. Oh, how I want to hear. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we all have the Saints in the last.
I got the Saints big.
Saints big. Saints 38-3.
Yeah.
38-3 Saints. All right, that'll do it for the Week 16 preview show. Appreciate everybody who listened. We appreciate everyone who listened. Go check out our mailbag from earlier in the week. Also, the Saints Packers preview, where we just talk about how the Saints are going to roll Green Bay. In Green Bay, you can check that out, and we'll have reactions to all these games coming out later this week. Ziggy, you look like you can use a nice hot bowl of soup, a TV show, and a little sleep. Is that?
I could. I got the worst referee report of my life tonight.
Oh, jeez.
On a journal article I submitted. I'll read you the final sentence. Why would you ask another person to spend time reviewing this work when it's so sloppy?
I got ripped apart once on a philosophy paper too. It's like statement 1 and statement 2 are poorly written, terribly thought out, and overall terrible. And I was like, this is
some people, man.
This is not a department.
I can rip you apart tonight if you want.
Ziggy was great as a teacher. Ziggy would be like, Paul, I see where you're coming from. Clearly, I said something idiotic, and Ziggy would be like, I understand where you're coming from. Here's how I think is a better way to view it, and let me know what you think about it. Or here's another way of viewing it, and then he would help me figure it out from there. Right. But some philosophy people just like tear you a new one. Ziggy's got thick skin here. We'll show Ziggy some love. If you made it this far, show Ziggy some love in the comments tonight. Give him a round of applause. Ziggy's working his butt off and doing a good job. So, all right, we'll see you
later,
soon,
folks.